Today, we will discuss about fiscal policy. Fiscal policy means. Fiscal policy is the means by which a government adjusts its spending levels and tax rates to influence a nation's economy. Actually, fiscal policy is the use of taxation and public expenditure for stabilization or growth. Instruments of fiscal policy is the public expenditure, taxes, and public debts. Fiscal policy choices. Expansionary fiscal policy used to combat a recession. On the other hand, contractionary fiscal policy used to combat demand pull inflation due to excess spending. Expansionary fiscal policy. Expansionary policy needed. A decline in investment has decreased aggregate demand, so real GDP has fallen, and also employment has declined. A possible fiscal solution may be 1. An increase in government spending, which shifts aggregate demand to the right by more than the change in government spending, due to the multiplier. 2. A decrease in tax, raises income and consumption, therefore aggregate demand shifts to the right. 3. If the budget was initially balanced, expansionary fiscal policy creates a budget deficit. Contractionary fiscal policy. Contractionary policy needed. When demand pull inflation occurs, a shift of aggregate demand to the right in the vertical range of aggregate supply. Remedial measure of this policy are given below. 1. A decrease in government spending shifts aggregate demand back left once the multiplier process is complete. Here price level returns to its pre-inflationary level, but GDP remains at full employment level. 2. An increase in taxes will reduce income and then consumption at first by the MPC times the decrease in income, and then a multiplier process leads aggregate demand to shift leftward still further. 3. A combined government spending decrease and tax increases could have the same effect with the right combination. D. If the budget was initially balanced, a contractionary fiscal policy creates a budget surplus. Financing deficits. Financing deficits can be done two ways. 1. Borrowing. Crowding out effect, a situation in which the government is borrowing heavily, while businesses and individuals also want to borrow. Crowding out is any reduction in private consumption or investment that occurs because of an increase in government spending. If the increase in government spending is not accompanied by a tax increase, government borrowing to finance the increased government spending would increase interest rates, leading to a reduction in private investment. 2. Money creation. When the Federal Reserve loans directly to the government by buying bonds, the expansionary effect is greater since private investors are not buying bonds. Policy option. Government spending or tax. Economists have mixed views about whether to use government spending or tax changes to promote stability, depending on their view of the government. If economists are concerned about unmet social needs or infrastructure, they tend to favor higher government spending during recession and higher taxes during inflationary times. When economists think that government is too large or inefficient, they tend to favor lower taxes for recessions and lower government spending during inflationary periods. Criticism about fiscal policy. Crowding out effect may be caused by fiscal policy. Some economists argue that little crowding out will occur during a recession. Economists agree that government deficits should not occur at full employment. It is also argued that monetary authorities could counteract the crowding out by increasing the money supply to accommodate fiscal policy.